Hello, everybody. Back here again for another Idiot's Guide to Working Out and Weight Loss. And today's little clip here is my workout week 9 wrap up. And again, it's just got a handful of the different treadmill readouts and some of the elliptical readouts and that. Just give it something different in the background to kind of not just stand here and listen to me talk and not have something going on. One of the things this week is I'm following my running training for my marathon that I'm doing, and half marathon, I guess it is. And it's absolutely, I don't know, it's kind of kicking my butt a little bit. It seems like you wouldn't think it'd be that big a deal, but trying to run at that slower pace for the longer distances is really not something my body's used to. Also, the only running the 4 days a week as opposed to the 6 or 7 is also kind of, I don't know, it's kind of odd. Some days I'm only running like 2 miles, 3 miles, like that. Other days I'm running like 8 and 9 miles. It's absolutely ridiculous. Part of me just wants to take the average miles. Let's say I had to run 100 miles this week, break it down and run, 20 each day of the 5 days. And then, I don't want to run, which I guess I wouldn't be running that many. Let's go with, 20 miles this week, whatever, and running 4 miles per day, 5 days a week, or something like that. Or even, run it 4 miles a day, 5 days a week would be great. I'm good with that. The 9 miles at a time, 10 miles at a time, stuff that's coming up makes me nervous. But in order to do a half marathon, I've got to keep this training up. I did do a couple runs outside this week. It was super cold for that. Not really enjoying it so much. The outside thing, I don't have a good Garmin watch to track my timing and that. So I find myself running a lot faster, running a lot slower, back and forth, and it's hard to keep track of it. I've got a handheld GPS device that's super accurate over the long haul, but the instantaneous momentary deals, it kind of throws it off. So if I look down and see what my actual speed is, it can be off by as much as a mile an hour, maybe even sometimes as much as 3 mile an hour, which I don't like. But when I look at the full overall distance, say I run 1 mile, I check it at my stopwatch, I look at the average time, and it's virtually perfect. So what I've been doing is just not looking at the actual speed at the moment, just trying to keep my average pace set at the right pace. The biggest problem I have with that is if I don't keep an eye on it very often, which I try to not look at it constantly because I'm out running outside in the trails, I find myself, if I end up running too fast, which is almost always the case, then I try and slow down to get my pace down. Let's say I ran 30 seconds faster my pace. In order to get that back down, if I ran 1 mile too fast, I'm not going to run a mile at a minute off my pace. So it really becomes a big pain in the butt. And I start having to try and do weird math in my head and that, trying to figure out, okay, how much slower do I really need to go and all that kind of thing. So it's kind of a bit of a pain in the butt, but I'm working on it. The biggest thing, that's one of the things I love about the treadmill, is I just set a speed and it's going to run that speed no matter what happens. If I don't want to fall off the back, I've got to keep up. So that really is a nice way of doing it. But they don't do marathons, they don't do, fun runs, they don't do that kind of stuff outside, or inside on a treadmill. It's all going to be outside. So I have to get used to that. Plus, it's been super cold, so I'm like sweating and then I'm freezing to death. I don't have a good windbreaker yet. Handful of those problems that I'm still dealing with just because I'm a cheapskate and I won't go out and buy the proper gear because I know I can find it cheaper elsewhere. It's not around here, and I'm holding out for that stuff. So this week was overall a pretty good week. I, met all my training schedules. I've decided no matter what, if the training says I have to do this, I'm going to do it. I don't care what it takes. I'm just going to suck it up and I'm going to do it. And if I fail or come up short on that, I'm going to have to turn around and do it again either later that day, or I'm going to have to put in it, the next day. It's a rest day. It won't be. It's going to have to be a workout day. I'm going to do whatever it takes to accomplish every single one of those training regimens on that training schedule. Now, will that get me into a 2 hour, 12-minute half marathon? I don't know. Will it get me into under 2, which would be a really cool feeling? I would love that. Part of me, I've got one coming up I might do, which is actually going to be halfway through this training schedule. There's a half marathon coming up that I'm kicking that idea around about going. Still don't know if I want to, because right now, 9 miles literally kicked my butt. So you add an extra, 4 miles on top of that, plus you add the outside, and that right there is just going to be miserable. One of the things you notice on the screen now, the LCD is like rolling real weird. If I'm at one of the treadmills nearest the window, the light shines in from the window and messes up the image with my camera, the 24 frames per second. So you'll notice here in the next clip, I realize that I'm able to actually put my hand there and block the light and create a little bit of shadow and get a little better look. But that's what's going on right there. The treadmill is not messed up. It's just the fact that my camera and the way the light's shining in there is actually messing with it. So that's the biggest problem at that point. But other than that, I'm still trying to decide whether or not I want to actually try and do the half marathon. I'm still not sure. I don't know. I'm up in the air, kind of being a little bit of a chicken in that. So other than that, like I said, everything's going great. I'm liking the pace and stuff. I need to probably look into getting some new shoes. I fear I'm getting close to my mileage. I'm pretty sure I'm over my mileage for what they recommend. So basically all I can say is I need to get out there and keep working at this. So any of you guys need motivation, feel free to hit me up. I'll be happy to, check on you, maybe send you an email or something like that, and making sure you're doing your workouts too. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find yourself a happy and safe and wonderful day, and get out there and get to sweating.